Mic check, 1 2 1 2. So today, the topic is simple, and it is I keep it straight and simple. Right? I figure that's the best way to go about doing things. Um, Success is 97 to 99% spiritual, and 1 to 3% physical. Now we talk about it. Let's talk about it. Success is 97 to 99% spiritual, right? And 1 to 3% physical, like the physical actions that you do. Because we talking about, right? We talking about how, okay, you get up, you go, you do what you gotta do, your day starts, you go and you do what you gotta do. Okay? So that's the physical aspect of success. You go and you do what you got to do, whatever that may look like. For each individual, it is different. Everybody have their respective jobs and their respective way that they generate income, right? So that's the physical aspect of succeeding and success, right? The spiritual aspect of success, 97 to 99% of the spiritual of success, 97 to 99% of success is due to your spiritual balance. So what the quote is saying, and I'm getting right into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm right into it. You know what I'm saying? Right into it. But the quote is really saying that once you're aligned, or once you're spiritually intact, once you have that balance spiritually, right, then success comes easily. You're at a 97 to 99% success rate once you're spiritually in line, in balance. So, moving right along, okay? So, what are some things? We got to ask ourselves, what are some things that we have in our lives that's causing us, if it is that we have some form of imbalance spiritually, if it is that we have some form of imbalance spiritually, or some kind of thing in our lives that's causing weight on our shoulders, you know, causing us to be heavy on our chest. If there's something in our life that's causing us to be heavy, that's weighing us down, that is messing with our spiritual balance. For and for and the same way it is different for everyone that attracts, or however you generate your income, everybody way to generate income is different. The same way it is so that each individual generate their income different. They go about their respective ways of generating their income. It's the same way. It's different for each individual, whatever their personal situations may be. Each individual personal situations is different, or the things that maybe weigh down each individual might be different, or it is different rather. Okay. So for me, I'm a father. Okay. I take care of my boys. Yeah, I'm a boy dad, right? And So that's not an area that I have issues with where I'm spiritually imbalanced because I'm there for my children. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like you can never ever call me a deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? That's something you can never put on my name. Never. For some men, that's something you can put on their name, right? So that may be down them weighing them down on a spiritual aspect because spiritually when it comes to that they're in balance, right? Something though that weighs down on me, right? I would say for a lot of individuals, but I can only speak for myself, that when it comes to the opposite sex and dealing with the opposite sex, we haven't all figured it out. Now, you hear things about speaking your significant other's love language, right? I feel that's huge. That's huge, right? When it comes to speaking your significant other love language, it's huge. Like one of the things I said to myself, like, you got to ask yourself after you exit a relationship, like, all right, what was what was my takeaway? Like, if there was something I can do different to make that situation work, granted, relationships do have their specific time constraints or time limits, or you reach a point where it's like, okay, you understand um, this person time frame in your life is literally come to its duration, right? Because some cases you're like, okay, this situation has come to its time constraint. Like this is where the limit is because you know that's just what the universe says, and you know you can't go no further in a specific situation. There's moments like that, and okay, but even in those moments, right? What you ask yourself when you leave a situation, what is my takeaway? What could I have done different? Right? What didn't I do that I was supposed to do? And I think posing that question, it helps you identify the work that you as an individual or the area that you can grow, because we always have opportunities to grow and lessons to learn, right? There's always an opportunity for growth and a lesson to learn. There's always an opportunity to grow and a lesson to learn, right? So when you pose a question after a situation is up, a relationship, what could I have done different? It helps you identify areas that you can grow. Now, specifically for myself, I find it a challenge in some cases when it comes to um, spousal, I would say, dealing with spousal issues. Here's a question, right? Here's a question. How much is one spouse responsible for the other spouse's growth as it pertains to their trauma, right? So, how much is one spouse responsible for the other spouse's growth as it pertains to their trauma? Is one spouse responsible for another spouse's growth as it pertains to their trauma? Hmm, it's a good question, right? And when you think about it, I'll let the question sit a little bit more before any solution is even posed. How much is one spouse responsible for the other spouse's growth when it pertains to their trauma? It's a powerful question. The story, there was a Zoom conversation that sparked this question. There was a Zoom conversation. Definitely, it was talking about relations between um, in couples. It was talking about different couples and the way they relate. And that question came up. How much is one spouse responsible for the other spouse's growth as it pertains to their trauma? Before the question was asked, one of the women on the panel, before the question was asked, one of the women on the panel, she mentioned she had an ex who was a trainer. He was a personal trainer. And when there would be times when she wanted to go to the Waffle House to have her desired food. And he said to her, he said, hey, here's what. We could go eat, we could go to the Waffle House. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to pop out. We outside. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do, babe. But this is what we gonna do. We gonna walk to the Waffle House and then we gonna walk back to the lab. We gonna walk back to the crib, right? So we gonna walk there and we gonna walk back. So guess what? That brother not only was this is how I interpreted that. Well, obviously the brother was more than a trainer, he was a psychologist. You know, he was swift. His mind worked pretty well. Okay. The brother, I mean, man, oh man, that brother nice. Get that man an EGOT, right? A Emmy, a Grammy, a Oscar. I don't know what the T stand for in EGOT, but give that man something. That brother's smooth. He said, listen, ma, babe, this is how we gonna give it up. Trying to eat Waffle House? I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? But PK, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna walk there and we're gonna walk back. You know Shorty burning the weight off. You know what I'm saying? And and not only is she burning the weight off, the amount of quality time. Who takes their shorty on a walk in 2025, bro? The amount of quality time that they're getting on that walk there, depending on how far the Waffle House is, but who cares? Whatever it is, ain't no 2025. You're not seeing nobody taking a shorty for a walk. Like, let's keep it a stack, okay? Ain't nobody taking a shorty for a walk in 2025. So the amount of quality time that they're getting on the way to the Waffle House, on the way back, they had a good time. She ate what she wanted at the Waffle House. She burned. The metabolism was, kicking in gear on the walk there. She's burning off some of the calories on the way back. I mean, that brother different. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up for him, man. Clap it up for that man. But here's the thing about that. This is what I learned from this trainer's move, who was in a relationship. Shorty, she was on the panel. She was talking about the trainer who did that, right? This guy, this is what I learned from his move. Not only did he say, all right, we in this together, but the trauma bond that his significant other have or had, she had it with food, he's saying that I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to walk with you and undo that trauma bond. I'm willing to walk with you to undo your trauma bond. Mm-mm-mm. More people like that. More people like that. Now, I don't know why he was her ex, and we're not going to get into that. We'll just focus on this specific act and demonstration, right? Right. So let's go back to the question. How much is one spouse responsible for another spouse's growth as it pertains to their trauma? Wow. 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 Okay. Another panelist said 0. Your trauma is your responsibility to heal. Mm, mm, mm. Another panelist said 0. Another person's trauma is not your responsibility. Another person's growth is not your responsibility. And this is a poetry channel, but in regards to the topic, which is success is 97 to 99% spiritual and 1 to 3% physical. As we connect this back to our topic, right? You have to look at the things that's causing you to be spiritually imbalanced. And specifically for me, it's the spousal situation that's causing your brother to be spiritually imbalanced. So I said, let me take it to YouTube. This is a poetry channel, but I have to talk directly. I have to talk things out. I have to flesh things out to where people understand, to where one, I clear things off my chest because I feel like there's really nobody I could come to and talk this talk with. So you know what? I'm gonna talk it with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I can't go to my mom. I can't go to my pops. It's just there. I just can't. I can't go to my brothers. I can't go to my sisters. I just, you know, I said, you know what? I'm gonna come here. It's a poetry channel, but since everybody on YouTube giving it, you know what I'm saying, giving it up. Not that I'm following the crowd, but at the same time, really and truly, I feel like this is therapeutic, King. Yeah, for real, for real. Like this is what is causing my spiritual imbalance. That whole spousal stuff. That's what's causing. Because like real talk, like if we want to keep it a stack, like it's in those moments when I'm spiritually misaligned that I resort to drinking. Let's keep it 1,000, King. You know what I'm saying? I resort to drinking. Ain't now and then I might take a little, but that ain't really my scoop to the eye. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't really with that. So, but I drink out to my heart. Oh gosh, you understand? So I'm saying so. You know, at the beginning and the end of the day, we getting rid, we shedding all those negative or bad habits. You know what I'm saying? Habits that's causing our misalignment. We're shedding them, but you have to be able to keep it a stack. One, in order to shed them, you can't keep it a stack. You can't shed them. You know what I'm saying? So, so you know what? We're gonna do it like this, right? So we understand the topic. Success is success is 97 to 99% spiritual. If you have that spiritual balance, you good. You good. You great. If you have that let's say when you have that spiritual balance, you're good money. In the event you're spiritually misaligned, mucho problema. You feel me? Mucho problema, papi, mami, mamacita. You know what I'm saying? Mucho problema. But as soon as you get that stuff squared out, you know what I'm saying, and you're able to identify what's causing your spiritual imbalance, and then boom, you align spiritually. It's a movie from there. It's really a movie from there. And then after that, you figure, you ask yourself, I'm saying, if it's a spousal thing, you pose a question: how much am I responsible for my spouse's growth as it pertains to their trauma? You realize the answer is zip zero, stingy with the Nero. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace and power, love and light.